Hello and welcome to the Real Life Show, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jonathan. This is a platform where we get to engage, interact, learn from icons, gurus, moguls, trendsetters, trailblazers, difference makers, and world changers. You know what I'm talking about. And excited as usual because I am chilling with one of the best, one of the greatest inspirations of all times, ladies and gentlemen. Madam Chama. Christine, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
Okay, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. Yeah.
I traveled all the way from the capital city to Kabwe just to come and meet you.
Well, it's really an honor to be followed for an interview.
Great. How is Kabwe?
Kawe is great, though I think for the past days it has been windy. Yeah, but it's great.
And cold at the same time. This place is cold, man.
Yeah, it is cold. We're
Okay.
getting into the cold season, so yeah.
You recently graduated. Congratulations on your graduation once again.
Thank you so much.
Okay, what are you doing?
I was studying a Bachelor of Arts degree in Development Studies with Sociology.
Great. So, just to take you back to you as a kid when you're growing up, how was it? Were you were you bullied first of all? Did you encounter such as a child growing up?
Well, I think my growing up was a bit different from the growing up with any other kids. It's different in the sense that the fact that I was born with a disability, so I had to spend most of my time in hospital. So basically, most of my childhood, I'll spend most of my time in hospital rather than being home and playing around with other kids.
Okay. So, where did you do your school from?
I started my school from Lusaka, Cheshire Homes, Kablonga. Yeah, that's where I was in nursery, then up to grade 3. And then I had to go to the Gama Special School for the Physically Challenged. That's in Mwasha. And I was there from grade 4 up to grade 12.
Okay. So I think I'm not a scientist. I didn't do biology in school. Talk about your condition.
Okay, so my condition is known as osteogenesis imperfecta. In the layman's language, it's called soft bones or brittle bones. So, yeah, if that's you can easily get to understand what it's all about. So, my bones are brittle, they are soft.
Okay.
Yeah, so for me, to be able to make movements for mobility and what, I have operations. I do have to undergo operations, and they put rods inside, so just as to support my bones, since they are very, very brittle.
Great.
Yeah.
Now, you having this condition, at what point did you accept who you are?
I think for me, accepting who I am at a very early age.
Okay.
And I think because I was born with a disability. So, though when growing up when I was young, I didn't see myself much different from others. When you're a kid, everything's just normal. But then, as I was growing up, of course, I could notice that I wasn't able to do certain things. With I think the most person I could always look up to was my elder brother. Yeah, so I was like, okay, my brother is able to do this, I'm not able to do this. Yeah, so I could question myself here and there, but I expected my condition at a very early age.
Okay.
Yeah.
How old were you?
I can't really recall the exact age, but I think it should be somewhere. I think I was doing a primary school going child. Yeah.
Okay. You are a very jovial person. You are happy. You humorous. You tell jokes. Where do you get that drive from?
And it was because from the people I surround myself with.
Yeah.
I think I tried by all means to be among happy people. Yeah, so that I don't get depressed here and there.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think mostly what has contributed to maybe my jovial mood or just my personality is my family background. I like saying I must be one of the lucky people to have a very strong support system. Yeah, so everything that I am now, it all started from my family.
So your family have been a strong pillar of support.
Definitely, and they are still a strong pillar of support for me.
Great. You were once president of what's the association again?
OZADESA, which is the University of Zambia Development Studies Association.
Okay. How were you appointed as president?
I was not appointed, by the way. As I said, there are always elections.
Yeah.
You're elected.
You have voted.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I wasn't appointed.
Okay.
Yes. So my involvement with the association started in my first year, and basically I didn't really get to involve myself in the association. I wanted to say I wanted to be the president for the association one day. No. For me, I joined the association. I became part of the association just for me to fit in the university environment.
Oh yeah.
Because it was a very different environment for me.
Yeah.
The fact that I think for my past education levels, nursery up to secondary, I was in special schools.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then I had to go to this totally different environment.
Yeah.
So I had to find a way of how I'm going to fit into that environment.
Okay.
Yeah, although there are students with disabilities at the university, but well, very few.
Okay.
And then the majority are not. So I had to find means and ways on how I'm going to fit in such an environment. So I was like, okay, let me be part of the association. So I joined the association just as a member, and also just to learn what the association does and how it helps students who are part of such an association. So basically that was my main reason why I had to be part of the association. But then later on, second year, some of my friends were like, oh, you've been part of the association. And you have been part of the projects that were taking place, but then I was just like ordinary person. So like, why can't you be part of the executive?
Wow.
Yeah, so like, oh, okay, well at first I said it was scary because it was a big association.
Yeah.
And like, I really didn't know how other students will react about it. Yeah. So then I was like, okay, let's give it a try. So I was first, I think my first executive position was being a committee member.
Okay.
That was in my second year. Then in my third year, I was the projects coordinator. So finally, my fourth year, and I became the president of the association.
Wow.
So I must say, it was an interesting journey.
Great.
Leadership journey, yeah.
Awesome. Now, for people who have conditions like you, they'll look at themselves and say, why should I do a degree? You know, why should I pursue my career? What inspired you to go for the higher paper at the highest institution in the country?
Well, firstly, just like any other person, just like any other child, they do have dreams. And I think one of the dreams is you furthering your studies and, of course, going to a higher learning institution.
Yeah.
I think it's just everyone's dream. Like when you're growing up, we all have such dreams. So even me, it wasn't different in my case. I had such dreams. It's one that, of course, they were a bit scary for me on how I'm going to conquer and just, So yeah, it's all started from there. Me having that dream.
Yeah.
Yeah, of being a higher learning institution. Just one day being noted as a University of Zambia graduate. Yeah, so it was started from there. And then also, later as I seemed to grow, I started noticing there was this gap and there was this perception that people have about persons with disabilities.
Yeah.
I think people also have this perception, say, if you a person with a disability, you can't do this and this and that. People concentrate more on your disability part, and they tend to forget your ability part. So I also felt I can add a voice so as to change that perspective. So I like say that's also one of my driving force that drives me to say, okay, let me do this thing so that at least I can add that different voice. Away from the usual voice that people have about persons with disabilities.
Now, if you were given an opportunity to meet the president representing the people with special needs, what would you tell him the change that you'd love to see in that particular sector?
First things first. I think it's so much talking about the infrastructure, how inaccessible it is, and more especially when you look at the schools. Somebody I would say yes, from nursery, primary, secondary, we have structures, schools that are easily accessible. But then when you look at the university and the higher learning institutions, it's a different case. So, and also not just in terms of schools. Most of the infrastructure is not accessible for persons with disabilities. So I think it would be an appeal that there could be something, maybe a law that can be passed, so as just to enlighten people to say, as you are coming up with these structures, make them more accessible. Because persons with disabilities, we are part and parcel of our societies, of our communities. So we just have to be accommodated, just like any other person. And also, my other appeal would be in terms of acquiring services, especially public services. There are certain services, they are public services, but they are not easily accessible for persons with disabilities. So if there's also a deliberate policy that could be put in place, so as to make sure that services, public services, are easily accessible for each and every person. I know now we have got the Disability Act in place, and we have the Universal Disability Policy, which is of course coming to an end, I think this year. Those are some of the documents that we have as a country that tries to help and just put a message out there how people are supposed to treat persons with disabilities, how people are supposed to help in making it possible for persons with disabilities to realize their abilities. But then I think I must say there's a slow pace in terms of implementation of those documents. We have the very good documents, but on the implementation part, I think that's where we're sort of lacking. So if more can be done on the implementation of what is written in those documents, then definitely it will be so helpful.
Great. Now, there are quite a number of people with disabilities, right? But you're the most famous, the most celebrated. You chill with celebrities. You what has made you exceptional and stand out among everyone else?
Firstly, I don't think I'm the most celebrated or the most famous.
I think you are.
Oh, well. There are others that are famous for that I know of, but I just don't know them. But I think what has made that or seem to be that I'm the most famous, that's because I sort of use my social media platforms very well.
Okay.
Yeah, I could say. I think every week, I couldn't say every day, at least every week, I would post something on Facebook of what I'm doing or what place where I've been to. And also, what makes me maybe that I chill a lot with celebrities or what. At times, just the fact that some places where I go to, and then I mingle with them. Also, friends. So, just like any other person, I'm a fan of others. I also have role models, people I look up. So, definitely, if I meet them at an event, I'll take an opportunity and just have a chat with them, take a few selfies with them. Yeah. And life goes on. Yeah.
I'm loving this lady right here, Lizzie. What would you say is your biggest accomplishment so far in life?
Okay. At the moment,
Yeah.
because I really can't say my biggest accomplishment because I think I still have a long way to go.
Yeah.
So at the moment, me getting myself a bachelor's degree,
Yes,
I think
huge.
I'm still celebrating that moment. I'm still in the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, so for now I would say that's my biggest achievement. And yeah, and also just the recognition I've gotten.
Yeah.
I think it's not something I've taken for granted.
Yeah.
And up to now, I must say, it's something that's still shocking me.
Yeah.
It's something that I didn't see coming. Yeah, so, yeah, I'll say those are my biggest achievements.
Okay. If you could turn back the time and speak to the 16-year-old Christine, what would you tell her?
What? 16-year-old Christine? I think I'll just want to encourage the 16-year-old baby. You have that fighting spirit in you. Just let it out. Let it shine.
Yeah.
Despite you having a disability, that you have abilities.
Yeah.
And I always say abilities should weigh more than your disability.
That's powerful. That's powerful.
Yeah, so I'll say to my old, to my 16-year-old self to say, just be the light, just shine out there, and just focus on your ability and not your disability.
Wow, great. What is the most important thing that you've learned in life so far?
First thing that I've learned in life is to support others. Because I am where I am now because I've had a very strong support system. So I think for me that's the most important thing.
Great.
That's out there. If you are there to support others, like definitely, it's not only them that the people you're supporting that will achieve, but also you as an individual who's supporting somebody, you definitely achieve something in the process.
Wow. Great. Nuggets and powerful wisdom right there from the legendary herself. Now, to someone who's looking down upon themselves, they are they have a condition like yours, and they've given up on life, what should you tell them?
Well, I know it's quite difficult if you're not in somebody's shoes to tell them what they're supposed to do. But I believe whatever condition you find yourself or whatever situation you're in, there's always light at the end of the tunnel. We go through different situations. We have different conditions that really pull us down. As at times you find that there's a person any person out there to offer you that so much needed support, to show you there's so much needed love or care that you really need at that moment. But I believe you have something in you. If you are weak out from the outside, but I believe there's always that inner strength that's in you. So I think it's very important that you try by all means to work on that inner strength that's in you.
Wow. Let's lighten the conversation a bit. If you could meet 3 people, have dinner with 3 people, dead or alive, who would they be and why?
3 people? Obama.
Nice.
Why? He's an inspiration.
Yeah.
Every youth loves Obama, right? Yeah. It's just there. Like, yeah. So Obama. The second person. Nelson Mandela. Yeah. I wish I had that opportunity to take this first it could have been at honor.
Yeah.
Yeah. And third person. Michelle Obama. Yeah.
I love that woman as well.
I love her. I've become great with following her journey after the White House. I think there's something in her that's just so inspirational, so motivating. So yeah.
Do you read books?
Well, I read books when I'm supposed to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite book of all time?
No.
Okay. I'll let that pass. What's your favorite music?
Music? I'm a very big fan of Zambian music. I listen to a lot of Zambian music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Favorite meal?
Huh?
Favorite meal?
Favorite meal? What's my favorite meal? Okay, fries. Maybe fries with chicken, fries with sausage. Yeah. Like pizza. Yeah, I love
Pizza. Okay, nice. Your last words to people who are inspired by you?
First things first, I'm really humbled.
Yeah.
I'm honored to be an inspiration to somebody out there.
Yeah.
I don't take it for granted. I've gotten responses from different people, how I've inspired them, how my life story has inspired them.
Yeah.
And definitely, I'm so much humbled and honored about with that fact, and I don't take it for granted. And I just want to say thank you so much for seeing me as an inspiration, because I feel to be recognized as one is such an honor. It's not something that comes easily.
Yeah.
For people to recognize you or just give you that type of being their inspiration.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm really humbled and so honored. Yeah.
Wow. Those words kind of melted my heart. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, that's the Real Life Show where I bring you the best that you deserve and the best that you need. I was chilling with an amazing personality here. You gotta meet this lady. She's in her own class. Yeah, so keep watching the Real Life Show. Stay safe. God bless you and see you next time.
Hi, I'm Kristen Chama, and you are on the Real Life Show. Continue watching more interesting real life stories with Jonathan.